Landlords, make a business decision, not an emotional decision. Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord Warrior on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Now, last week was a pretty hectic week. I had a couple of settlement conferences last week, and in one of those cases, it was a classic non-payment of rent case. The problems were this. Landlord had a tenant that was very elderly, not making any income whatsoever, just living off Social Security income. Problem is, there was like 6-7 months worth of unpaid rent. This landlord needed to get an order to pay that rent. The problem is, and this is kind of where the business decision comes in, was the reality of this tenant just couldn't afford to pay all that back rent. And that was a really big contention in this settlement. In fact, we spent a couple hours going through the details. We had a judge help us through the case here, and a lot of the time spent was just accepting the reality that that money was not going to be recovered whatsoever. And sometimes landlords, you're going to have to make a business decision about, resolving a case just to get possession back of the property. Usually that's the most valuable piece of component in one of these settlement agreements, is actually getting possession back so you can rent to the property to a tenant that can't afford the rent. And some cases there's just no good decision, or a decision that you're not gonna be super happy to enter into, but it is necessary to move on. In this case, for example, the only income for that matter was Social Security income. And for many landlords that know the game, Social Security income is not collectible under any type of garnishment. So it's basically like the tenant just has absolutely no money. We ended up, resolving the case with a negotiated court settlement agreement, but it took a couple hours to get through that. Also, too, what was playing in the factor in this matter was, tenants' family members were saying some crazy stuff about the landlord, and the landlord was just trying to collect his rent. That's not illegal in California. I think one of the issues, it was they were claiming it was elder abuse or something like that, but it was a big deal, because landlord's trying to, pay his, their bills or whatever it is. And you got, family, yip yapping at you saying you're a bad guy or whatever. But the reality of it is, hey, you don't pay your property taxes, you're getting evicted by the county. Or if you don't pay your mortgage, you're getting evicted by the bank, basically. So, all in all, sometimes you gotta put your business hat on. It sucks. I've had to deal with personal cases where, hey, I haven't gotten paid for stuff, but you got to make a decision. Hey, I got to move forward. It's not worth trying to collect a judgment that's uncollectible. That type of deal. So sometimes you have to put your emotions aside and just make the best business decision possible, and then move on and carry on from there. So that's my kind of the war story of the day here. Folks, if you got comments, put them down below, or questions. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Until next time, folks, I'll talk to you then. Thanks.